Hi, everyone. This is gonna be sort of an awkward video because, I don't know what's going on right now, but apparently the power stopped working at my house. Then it came back on for like a few minutes later, then the power cut off again. I don't understand what's going on, especially since it's raining a bit. Anyway, so I made my last video, and I also had in the description of that Midnight Motorist is about the Aftons, and that Michael Afton is the runaway by default. Because in my timeline, the Crown Child dies, and then after that, Charlotte, and then Charlotte becomes the puppet. In Midnight Motorist, it suggests that Midnight Motorist takes place after William kills Charlotte. And if Charlotte died, after the crying child, died, and, how the hell would he be the runaway in Midnight Motorist? Easy. He wouldn't. Because he died. He already died. He died in the hospital. He was not experimented by his father. He did not possess any animatronic. And even though, some people suggest that the Crown Child possessed, the Fredbear plush, especially in the Walton Files, the two children, Ed and Molly, possessed their own animatronic doll, Rocket. So it doesn't seem that bad, but I just don't agree with that. It just feels weird, especially for FNAF, especially with FNAF 4 that came out around like 2016. There's probably no way that the Crown Child would possess the Fredbear plush, especially since in the actual minigames, the Crown Child doesn't carry the Fredbear plush. It's not even on him. It just so happens to follow him some of the time, but not exactly. In my opinion, the Fredbear plush jogging to the Crown Child would seem like in like his imagination. But anyways, about Midnight Motorist, Michael Afton is the runaway child by default because the Crown Child is already dead, and if Charlotte's death is after the Crown Child died, then that means Michael Afton is indeed the runaway. And Five Laps at Freddy's somewhat confirms that the purple car in Midnight Motorist is indeed William Afton's. I don't care about certain things. I'm okay with certain things that are happening, that happened, and that they happen for a reason. I would defend Midnight Motorist, involving the Aftons and Michael Afton as the runaway. I would defend the Cassidy as Golden Freddy. I would defend Michael Afton and the Michael Afton and Mary Schmidt ship. And I would personally defend that sister location takes place after FNAF 1. And I would also defend the fact that William Afton is a narcissist and an abusive, neglectful father. But would he really experiment or kill his own children? No. Absolutely not. Not even Michael. Well, more likely he wouldn't experiment on his own children, including Michael, because he kills and experiments on other children. Like, hello? And some things in Five Nights at Freddy's have already been established, but are made clear with other certain forms of media coming out that are canon in the universe. So, yeah. Anyway. So, and there was a recent theory about Midnight Motorist by, I can't remember their YouTube name, but, they mentioned another FNAF theorist, and the only problem that I have with that is that two of the same theory, Midnight Motorist, two videos of the same theory happened like a year ago. A year ago. And, William Afton is clearly the orange yellow guy in Midnight Motorist, and his car? I don't know what else to tell you. And the recent theory was absolutely ridiculous. I mean, involving the mimic? The mimic. Really? Really? I swear, it's almost like an Eleanor thing, where Eleanor is basically like almost every character, like every villain reveal, and I'm just like, oh my god, shut up. Like, in my timeline, Eleanor dies pretty quickly at the end of the story of To Be Beautiful, where in my version, Quinzel, one of Sarah's friends, notices Eleanor and promptly decapitates her, like ends her life quickly after. And Eleanor is never heard from again. So yay! And I just also want to say that I have seen Not Real Names videos of Five Nights at Freddy's, and certain problems that she has with the series, including, like, for example, the books and probably even the movie. Now, I just want to say this. Real life people exist. And sometimes people have the same first name or last name with no relation. Some people, like, for example, children at the ages of 12 to 13 go through puberty. And that's completely normal. Or the fact that sci-fi and supernatural elements exist. Like, why? Also, retcons. Retcons exist. And I'm okay with them. And I'm okay with them happening. Because, especially about Charlie's gender, not even gonna ask. It was just a big sort of retcon that happened, and it was just because of the book's involvement. And I just want to say this. the last video I talked about horror homestead. And he does realize that the books are parallels to the games, right? Right? I cannot for the life of me. Why do people keep on forgetting certain stuff surrounding FNAF? Like, why? What's the problem? What's the problem with that? Like, really? Why? Why? People keep forgetting that human beings exist. People go through puberty, have the same first name as any other person, or I don't know. I don't know. The fact that books, movies, games have their own different universes. To put it bluntly obvious. If I had to say that. Because I really do not care anymore. And also, since Didophobia takes place 10 years after William Afton made his experiments. And due to the Unwhispered Truth video about sister location being actually simple, with William Afton opening Circus Babies Entertainment and Rentals in 1986 and doing experiments in that facility, I would have to believe that Didophobia and Sister Location take place in 1996, and Room for One More establishes that Stanley, the main character of that story, has been working in Circus Babies Entertainment and Rentals for a year and a half. And I'm pretty sure that Room for One More takes place in 1997, 1 year after Sister Location. Like a year after the events of the game. So, yeah. I just want these theories to just end, and if I hear one more theory, and if I hear someone talk about Midnight Motorist or Cassidy as Golden Freddy again, I'm gonna lose my mind. I mean it. I'm straight up gonna lose my mind. Because right now I'm still thinking about Mary and Mike Schmidt being a married couple, and if they would actually be canon, maybe the Five Nights at Freddy's timeline can be put to rest because of that, and if not, then it doesn't matter. And about Cassidy. Now, I would imagine Cassidy being reborn as a sort of grown-up version of herself to be 10 years older than when she originally died. Now, when she died, I would imagine her being 7 years old, and if she was reborn as a teenager, she would be around like 17 years old. She's described in the graphic novel in the fourth closet description to be a girl with long black hair. And you know what, that's all for this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. If you enjoyed it or not, that's fine. See you tomorrow. Bye.